Everyone, welcome to our Switcher Holiday webinar series. We're really excited to have you here today. Today, we're going to be talking through how to fuel your church's mission through year-end giving. I'm Brandon Ramos. I'm the COO of Switcher. And today, I'm joined by Brandon Swain from Tidely. Really happy to have you here, Brandon. Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I love working with you guys, and thanks for the opportunity to be here.
Absolutely, same. Just to kick us off before we jump into kind of our topic on year-end giving. For folks who don't know what Tidely is, can you give us a little bit of a background on what you're all about and how you support churches, nonprofits, that type of thing?
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to. Tidely is a church technology company that creates digital tools to help simplify your ministry. So we're all about simply serving. We want to get churches back to simply serving their congregations and not bogged down with church technology or technology that's going to break your budget. But we want to create technology that helps you simply serve and fuel your mission. Our primary product is online giving, but we do other tools as well that help you manage every facet of your church, whether that be from your website, app, or even from your member database and planning services.
Yeah, that's amazing. We've been partners now for a little while. I'm always refreshed like how aligned Tidely and Switcher are when it comes to kind of, hey, it's really trying to take technology and enable churches who want to get the message out and not have it get in the way, right? It's really about making sure they're able to do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Great. So we're really jumping into Thanksgiving, holiday season, Christmas, and New Year's. And a lot of that time for Switcher, both for our church customers, for nonprofit customers, it's about generosity and year-end giving. I don't know, Brandon, if you've got any traditions that you celebrate this time of year. What are you looking forward to coming up here?
Oh man, that's a great question. I mean, my birthday's actually Sunday, so nice. Thanksgiving is kind of like my birthday meal, so to speak. Like, usually everyone's like coming together and everything like that. So that's always exciting for me. But I love. We actually go get our Christmas tree the day after Thanksgiving. Usually, we cut it down and stuff like that. So that's usually what I'm looking forward to the most. And my wife's birthday is also the day after Thanksgiving. So a lot of celebrating going on.
That's great.
But I'm looking forward to my wife's mashed potatoes because that's always a good thing to have on the plate for me on Thanksgiving. But what about you?
I'm right there with you. It's funny. We overlap. We're looking forward to getting to the tree the day after. But I got to say it's the meal and maybe the kids helping out a little bit cooking this year is really what I'm looking forward to. As we get into it, so it should be good.
Oh, I forgot about the parade. I'm all about the Thanksgiving Day parade. Me and my mom have watched that together for years, and that's always a good tradition too. So
awesome. Yeah, definitely agree. Good. Okay, well, if we're going to jump in here on seasonal giving, at Switcher, we see a variety of customers that focus their live streams on giving and fundraising, and that's all year long, not necessarily during just the Christmas, New Year's, and Thanksgiving season. Ultimately, we want to help folks do that well in an unintrusive, but in a really effective way. So what I'm hoping to cover today for the two of us would be kind of why this time, this year-end giving season, why should it really matter to folks who are interested here? We want to talk about some ways we can incorporate giving moments naturally into the live stream, broadcast, or other moments. We'll definitely spend some time about how Switcher and Tidely work well together. I've been really thrilled with the partnership so far, and I think that extends to customers, right? And we'll do some practical tools for planning, really around holiday services. So I hope you're all up for that. Feel free, for those who are watching live, looking forward to getting your comments and your questions into the live chat. If we have a chance to answer some of those questions at the end of the broadcast, we'll jump in there and go ahead and feature those, and Brandon and I will get a chance to answer. So if we jump in, okay, why year-end giving really matters. Brandon, I'd love to hear your perspective on kind of the Christmas and New Year's season. Why is that so important? What do you see at Tidely during this time of the year?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, churches are always focused on the Sunday to Sunday. I mean, that's the nature of the game, and that's definitely super important. I mean, giving on Sunday is Sunday is the highest day that people give, obviously, but even more so at the end of the year. We've seen some amazing data around people giving towards the end of the year. Primarily, we see about we've even before these stats we have. December accounts for 11% of the total giving of the year. So like that's the highest month that churches receive donations. But then it gets even cooler than that. On December 31st, the total amount of donations, so this is the amount of people donating or the amount of gifts being made to your church, increases by 113%, higher than the daily average. And then the total amount that's given, so like the dollars that are actually being given by these people who are donating on December 31st, is usually 340% higher. So more people are giving on December 31st, and they're giving more on December 31st. So December is a really important month for donations. And that last day of December is really, really important as well, because people usually are giving for those last couple of days to kind of, whatever they might have like leftover budget for their donations or whatever it may be. They're trying to get those last minute donations in for the year. So it's important for you guys to have a really dialed in system, especially in the month of December, so you can facilitate all this incoming donations that are going to happen at the end of the year.
Yeah, that is so important. I mean, we see almost a similar effect happening when it comes to both the number of churches live streaming and the audience. So we see the most live streams over any time of the year during December. Yeah. We see like 10x the number of folks who are like looking for a live stream to be a part of an audience of. So that viewership, that lines up exactly with what you're saying around the donation numbers. And I think the point you make about like tuning your system now so that you can be prepared for that, that becomes really important. I think the folks, if it's your first broadcast, get a little practice in. Be ready, right? Because this is the opportunity as we step into this time period.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I tell people all the time when they sign up for Tithely, like, before you launch it out to your broader congregation, like, if there's like 5 or 6 like key staff members or lead team that you have, like, have them donate on it and test it out and see how the flows work and all that kind of stuff, and figure out the best cadence for you guys as a team. I think that's always really important. Testing is crucial always
always, right? And it doesn't have to be like some grand plan. It's just let's get that thing set up. Let's run it on the rails a little bit. That can be what you need to do. Right on. So when we think about churches streaming their Christmas service or New Year's, they kind of already have a built-in giving moment. I mean, Christmas tends to be the time where most churches are streaming. So people watching are engaged, and they need just oftentimes, I think, some simple ways to participate. And I think, honestly, this is where like Switcher and Tithely offer a great place to kind of partner together and where it can really work.
For sure.
As I think about this, if you've got that giving moment, I'm looking at a few practical ways like where that could be added. So a couple of things I think about when you're looking for prompts through the broadcast. It really should be a natural point where you're able to suggest this is a great time to donate. And I think those come kind of 3 times through a broadcast where you can do that in a real natural way. What I see work real well for churches is pre-service. Oftentimes, a lot of live streams will start with a scroll that's informational about the church, welcoming folks in as folks are getting ready. And I think in this announcement loop, there's a real opportunity just to weave it in there, like right as you're going through. What are the events that are planned? I see best practice as always having a give slide or a give message in that scroll. And so you can have those church updates, the events, but this should include a call to support in your mission. And you see a little bit of the graphics roll in there. it gives you a sense of like how easy that can be, where you're just dropping in a little lower third link as part of your scroll. And frequently, like, that can lead to wherever your giving is going to take place. I don't know, Brandon, if you see like other moments where you encourage folks to weave in some of this giving messaging when you think about your own prompts.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I like that you say the pre-service, because I think that's something that's always forgotten sometimes, because usually it's like sometimes like a bulletin board there, and like it's just kind of smattering of information, but it's like, think about this intentionally, and as people are sitting there waiting for the live stream to start, I think that's a great place to like put some key information, like an online giving QR code, or we have at Tithely, we have text to give, so like that's a great thing for live streams, like having your number there and the keyword that you can use for text giving, because like people might already be primed to give, or they might have already decided in their heart, hey, I'm going to give to this church this week as I'm attending a Christmas Eve service online or whatever it may be. So like, don't wait for that opportunity.
Yeah.
But then also to like reinforce the opportunity throughout the service. We always talk about Tithely, like, don't shy away from giving moments. I think so many times, like churches will neglect, like it will just be like a footnote on a service, like, hey, we're passing around the plate, or if you want to give online, do this. And then that's like all it is. But like, really make sure you take the time to craft a moment, whether that be a small like devotion on giving or whatever it may be, but like connecting people to the why when you're asking them to do something is so important. And like, my church, we used to do that. Like I would always tie it back into the sermon. Like, why do we give?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, that kind of stuff. So don't shy away from that, and like plan that out, especially during Christmas time. Like, you're going to have a lot of people who don't know why they should tithe, or what tithing is, or why I should give to a church anyway. And so like, reinforcing that as much as possible, repeating it as much as possible, having it planned out as much as possible is just going to help you in the long run and help people make people feel more welcomed.
I think that's so critical, right? I mean, where it's not just a kind of momentary thing that scrolls by and someone can expect. If it really is woven in through the message, I think that can be really compelling.
Yeah.
And I would say from the switcher point of view, being able to mirror the in-person discussion of those things with similar messaging through the broadcast, it becomes really powerful, right? So oftentimes, whether you're bringing that up in a graphic, if you're broadcasting to social platforms like Facebook or YouTube or wherever else, but I now almost every time I'm talking with churches, I'm encouraging folks to stream directly to their website. And one of the reasons I do that, and you should multi-stream, you want to be on all those places, but I really encourage folks to broadcast to the website because it is the place they control the messaging the most.
Yep.
We've got some graphic here rolling through how you could bring a link onto your broadcast that's right in the switcher player. So if you're using a service like a Tithely and you want to bring that link over, that's got a home right in the player itself. And in that way, what you're able to do is have your message alongside the ability to ask for and reduce the friction of giving that's involved in making this type of movement work. So I think that can be a really exciting way to keep folks engaged.
Yeah, for sure. And even like, I think about, we just talked about the pre-service, but like the post-service as well. Like, I don't know about you guys, but when I watch church online, usually it's because like my kids are sick and like all the kids, so my kids are running around in the service, like during the live stream and all that kind of stuff. I usually miss a lot of things because of that. So it's like, having something that's like thought out for your pre-service is so important, but also the post-service, to make sure that those people get that information and don't have to like rewind and find that moment again. It's like, how was I supposed to give, all that kind of stuff. I think that's super important as well, just to keep that information in front of people as they're ending the service, ending the live stream, so that way people can catch that information really quickly again and take an action there as well.
I think that's right on, right? I mean, I think as in the close, you have that opportunity to do something similar, and as you did with the intro. I'd also say, I mean, I say this all the time when I'm talking to church customers. They're folks who are creating excellent content week in, week out.
Yep.
And it pains me sometimes when that content is not reutilized. Oh, I've got my dog joining me in the background there for a minute. It's not reutilized like during the rest of the year. I think when you do these types of services, if you are able to repurpose some of that content in the subsequent weeks, often for social, it gives you a chance to get some more value out of the content you've created. Also, if you've got a library on your site, like these are messages that should be evergreen, and you've got an opportunity to kind of capitalize on the asks that you've made all year long. And I think that could be really effective for folks who are creating great content and broadcasting on a regular basis.
For sure. And I think it's a missed opportunity for churches that one of the things that they should repurpose is that giving moment, like the time that you explain why we give, what we're giving to, all that kind of stuff. Like that should definitely be some sort of micro content, whether that's from social media or on social media, or even something that I've seen before is churches will have on their giving page like an explanation of like why we give, and like a video like that would be perfect. Right there on that page, because people respond to video more than they do text, and it's like, and you're creating a more personal connection with somebody when they see someone's face explaining something to them rather than them reading a wall of text on your website. So and I think right now the churches need to be out there more talking about giving and not shying away from money. So or shying away from like the money conversations and stuff like that. Like right now, there's a lot of heat coming on churches about how they do financing, how they do their finances, or like why they give. Like there's just a lot of stuff out there. So like we need to use this content to kind of like present why we believe what we believe and why we do what we do. And it's not, and if we don't, silence just creates negativity sometimes. So it's like, so like you don't, and like, I love what you're saying too. Like, pastors spend so much time on their sermons, but it's like, think about other things that you could do in your service that you could repurpose, not just the sermon, but also like the announcements and that giving moment as well.
I agree. Right on point. Yeah. So I do want to back up just a little bit on some other things that can help, especially when it comes to making the giving seamless and making sure you're going to be effective when you drive it. So I'll talk a little bit on the stream side. I think giving moments work best when the stream is very clear, polished, easy to follow. I work with a lot of churches, and often there's a decision to start broadcasting or start streaming, and it can start small, and that's great. Going from 0 to 1, I encourage people to take that step. But after you get a couple of those under your belt, it really becomes about putting your best foot forward for your church. And to me, my checklist there is you want to create a warm and professional experience during that broadcast. You don't have to make it amazing, right? A few clean graphics or transitions, that can be the difference of an okay broadcast to just a great broadcast, right?
Definitely.
And I would say multi-streaming, that's become expected. So going to Facebook, going to YouTube, and certainly your website. I think those are all good places. And you've got a little bit of a role here on how easy it is on Switcher to be able to connect some of those channels. Last, I would say if you are using Switcher, using Scene Builder to preload some of those giving moments really helps, right? You can build a graphic here in literally 5 minutes. We talked a little bit about just doing a little bit of planning in order to bring forward some of those graphics, so it really does come on as an intentional moment that you're bringing forward in the broadcast. I think that can work really, really well. Brandon, I'd love to hear a little bit about from the Tithely perspective, what are some of the tools and services that Tithely brings to help make some of that work a little bit more smoothly?
Yeah, and I think just on the same line as what you were saying, like just making it simple for folks, like that's why Tidely and Switcher I think work so well together. I mean, you guys make it super simple to make sure you can broadcast to multiple places, but also just to run a high production stream with like very little cost, which is awesome. And Tidely is the same way. Like we want to make sure that our tools are affordable and effective, but also simple, right? And not just simple so a lot of times tools in our space will make it really simple for the admin and not necessarily simple for the donor. And so Tidely is really, I think, a best of both worlds, is where we make it simple for the donor and the admin. And we have it, our giving form, you can give within a matter of like a minute. There's no need to like sign into an account or do any of that stuff. I think that's huge, especially when you're live streaming and like maybe you're capturing people who aren't necessarily in person all the time, or, they might be watching from a different state, whatever it may be. Like, if they feel compelled to give, it better be very simple for them to give, or they're not.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just to nerd out for a moment from UX stuff, like the lower the friction, the better the experience is going to be for that person. They just want to be able to get done what they've decided to do, right? And so like, don't get in front of them. Make it super simple. I love that about what y'all are doing.
Yeah. And I like to tell you a story. I won't name names, but one of our competitors, I was trying to go to an event at another church, and they were using one of our competitors, and I had to pay for the event and stuff. And like, it made me like put in my phone number and all these kinds of things to like sign up for an account. I was like, if I didn't have to go to this event, I probably wouldn't do it. I was like, this is just annoying. Like, I'm not gonna, it's just, so like, you want to make sure that as you're evaluating your systems, especially with online giving, how simple it is for people to give. And make sure that online service isn't asking too much of your people too. Like, people are hesitant, especially when they're making a financial transaction. They're very hesitant on how much information they're giving as well. So like, make sure it's very simple, very clear and concise. Everything's right in front of them. Don't make it to where like they have to scroll and find other things. And Tidely's form does a really, really great job of that, to making it right in front of them. And the cool thing is that I always think December is a great time to encourage people to set up recurring donations for 2026.
Absolutely.
And Tidely is another Tidely service there for recurring donations is really simple again, where they could do an initial gift and then decide, hey, this is going to be a recurring donation. And all they have to do is just like choose how often they want to give. We do, weekly, monthly, or the 1st and 15th of the month. Like, they have a bunch of options there, and they can set up that gift without ever having to create an account, and have it be a recurring donation throughout 2026. So I think that's those two things, like make it simple as possible, and then have recurring donations be as simple as possible as well. I think that's going to be a big way to have people be interacting with your giving and probably, I wouldn't say like, I don't want to say like convince them, but like being able to attract more donors and stuff like that, and like not have those people shy away. And we already talked about like text to give. I think is perfect for online streams, because like you have that number there, and you can have a keyword set up and all that kind of stuff. And it's easy to call out in the stream as well to say, hey, if you want to give, text the word, whatever to, the number provided on the screen. And you guys make it easy to, put the lower thirds on there to have that available for people. So those three things in tandem, I think, could make it really, really powerful for you guys as you are streaming during this Christmas season.
Yeah, tremendous. I couldn't agree more with the way you're talking about it. And I just that theme of making it super simple, super low friction. The fact that you've got easy ways to make that gift recurring, like that really stands out to me as the type of technology required to make it really easy for folks to get what they need done.
Definitely.
Really helpful, Brandon. So before we head into QA, let me do a little bit of a recap, and then I think we can jump right into some of that QA before we close. So one, I heard planning. It's important. You want to plan those giving moments. You want to give them their due. You can weave them into intros, outros, as well as during any broadcast that you're having. I think setting them up with overlays and multi-streaming to multiple locations are going to give you your widest audience, especially on your website though as well. Please don't forget the website.
Yeah.
I would say the Tithely tools you talked about, I think are super valuable. When you think about low friction, recurring ability to gift, I think that's standout. Mm-hmm. You definitely want to do some testing. And while it doesn't need to be a 6-day long plan, just rolling through some of those tests will be really important for you. And, just as for the message to folks who are watching right now is the time to prepare, right?
Yeah.
Like, get some of those things going right now so you're ready for December. And anything you think to add, Brandon? Or I think we're hitting a lot of great stuff here.
Yeah, I think simplicity is key. Make it simple for people to find your live stream. Like Brandon already said, like the website should be the number one place you put it, because like people are just going to go to your website too, especially if your church is well known in the community and like easy to find on Google and things like that. Like, you shouldn't have to have them find your Facebook link or your YouTube link to watch the live stream, but also make sure your giving, online giving is super simple as well. You don't want to ask for the last name of your mom's maiden name or anything like that to give. Like, make sure it's takes little to no time for people to give. And I think you already said it, like, make sure that Christmas Eve is not your first live stream as well. Like, test it out, play around with it, do some live streams with just the pastor or whatever, do some live devos and, test those things out before you break into a Sunday morning service.
Yeah, I agree. That right on point. Okay. So we've got a bunch of comments and questions. I'll look to feature a couple of the hellos here. And we did get one question coming in. So what's the one thing that churches sometimes forget to prepare during their holiday giving season? Brandon, any thoughts on what you've seen? It sounds like horror stories. I don't even want to think about it. But any things that we haven't mentioned that we've seen churches forget during this time?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for me, you can do so everyone's focused on like the Christmas service, and going back to like preparing for those giving moments. I think December is a great way, or a great time to celebrate what God has done from January to November.
Yeah.
Lead into giving moments for December and things like that as well. Like, usually churches sometimes will do it in like January, like they'll publish like a financial report or a business report or whatever it may be. But like, I think December, I mean, even though like you're not going to wrap up like all your financials in December, but like December is a great time just to say, hey, this is what we did with the gifts that were donated from January to November. This is what God did through your generosity, all that kind of stuff. So like, I think that like don't just get so hype. I mean, I know it's easy to do because it's such an important service, but don't just get hyper focused on the Christmas Eve service, but think about what God has done and do and present that in a service or in online or social media or whatever, and celebrate that in December, celebrate that at Christmas Eve or the Sunday morning after Christmas Eve or whatever it may be. Because I think that's such a good, that's such a good time to celebrate and remind people is during that time, because it's like we're already celebrating what God has done, and by bringing Jesus into the world, let's be thankful and celebrate what God has done in the midst of our people and stuff like that as well this past year. So plan for that. Think through ways to kind of like just bring up those moments that happen throughout the year, and like where we see we're going in 2026 as well. Like, maybe there is a special missions project that you're having donations for in December, and you can kind of show where you're going to go now. But I think December is a great time to look back. Sometimes forget.
Yeah, man, I think that's really profound and right on. I think that can, one, you get just a great message, and two, you get a kind of a natural giving moment as a result of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think we've got time for one more question. So we had one coming in from Willie, who's watching on Facebook, in terms of what do you recommend for wide angle shots during a broadcast? man, equipment questions are always tough. We'll see what we can do. I urge you to check out the Switcher resources. We've got a list in our help center where you can take a look at all the different items that are out there. But I find most folks with Switcher are using either an iPhone or an iPad camera as your wide shot. And oftentimes center aisle can give you a bit of best view for that. I'd also encourage you to check out the EPTZ feature, which allows you to like electronically, it's like a zoom, but you're really just selecting images from the shot that you've got, and you can bring that up a bit closer. So it allows you to move between a few different shots, even with just one camera. With the limited amount of time, I think I'll leave it there, but definitely check out the Switcher Help Center for some equipment as well as some kind of shots pieces. You've also got the Switcher Enthusiast group on Facebook. Some real pros there can add in some additional answers.
I will say this: I just got the new iPhone.
Oh, sweet! There you go.
The angles on this shot, the wide angles on this shot, or on this camera, are awesome. So if you have one in your church, and you can, that's what I love about Switcher. You can use this for your camera for broadcasting. The iPhone 17 Pro Max has been fantastic for me. So
same so far, really cool. I mean, all their commercials are really centered on the video capability. So I'm glad to see that come through.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. So this has been amazing. Great 30 minutes. I want to thank you so much, Brandon, and the Tithely team for joining us today. Such a powerful season for generosity and connection. And I really appreciate you spending some time with us and doing this webinar.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I always love hanging out with you guys and working alongside you to serve churches. And thanks for the opportunity to be here and to be able to, speak into this last season of the year, and praying for everyone that's watching as they go into this Christmas season. And I pray it's a good one and it goes smoothly and it's simple.
Yeah, right on. So just as we close out, I do want to mention this is the second of our 3 webinar series. As part of this series, we are doing some special pricing packages. So in conjunction with Tithely, we're given the opportunity to lock in seasonal pricing. So it's a 3-month recurring price versus our usual monthly and annual. And that's going to save you $30 every quarter. I'd also say for folks on this webinar, and this will be a limited time coupon, you can take an additional $5 off your first month when you use the promo code Tithely5OFF. So please go ahead, check that out as you get going. Also, if you visit the Switcher Tithely page and you start your subscription right there, that code will come on over and be applied. Yeah. So great. Brandon, any last comments before we sign off for this one?
Yeah, I do want to let you guys know that Tithely is doing a Cyber Monday promotion.
Oh, yes.
So, if you guys are in need of church technology, whether that be a site, app, church management software, online giving, we're doing a huge promotion at the end of the year. You actually get 50% off our full package. So that's, all access is usually $119 a month, but you get it for $60 for your first 3 months. So it's a great way to try it out. Great way to go into 2026 if you're needing some of these tools. And then we're also we're giving away a $20 Amazon gift card for everyone that signs up for online giving and finishes the onboarding process with online giving as well. So if you need some extra cash for your Christmas gifts, sign up for Tithely Giving, get a $20 Amazon gift card. And there's some other promotions there as well, as you can see, but those are the 2 main ones. We'd love to be able to serve you guys this Christmas season and into 2026. So feel free to check that out. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have if you want to reach out to me and be able to set you guys up.
Excellent. All right. Really appreciate it. I hope you all found this valuable. It was a great time for us to get some of these tips out. And looking forward to talking with you. Best of luck as we go into the Christmas season. Thanks, everybody. Have a great year.